Mr. Chancellor, I am honoured to present to you for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, the Honourable Peter Adams.
Mr. Chancellor, I know I'm supposed to raise my hat every time I speak to you, but this hat is slightly small, so if you don't mind, I'm going to take it off. Is that okay? Mr. Chancellor, I want to thank Colin Taylor, my friend and colleague, for his very, very kind words. I also want to thank the University and all of my colleagues who are here, particularly those in the Department of Geography, for this great honour. And I also want to thank the community of Peterborough, which has been very kind, as you've heard, and patient with me over many, many years. And I also would like to thank Jill and our family who are down here, because this surely is their honour. Mr. Chancellor, I thought that I would talk to the friends and family of our graduating students. And I thought I would talk to you all about this campus. Now, the students, they know all about this, particularly the geography students who are here today. And the faculty are supposed to know all about the campus, so you guys can doze off just for a few minutes, if that's okay. And I'd like to talk to you all about this wonderful, wonderful campus. Trent's campus is 1,500 acres, as you heard in the President's remarks, with a river running through it. And the river is not the Trent River, as some people think. It's the Autonomy River, which is becomes a tributary of the Trent. The Autonomy is part of the Trent Severn waterway. It's a wonderful waterway. You can put your canoe in here and you can paddle that way to Georgian Bay. It takes you a little bit of time. And you can paddle that way and get to Lake Ontario. So this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. You can go from the lower Great Lakes to the upper Great Lakes right through this campus. The locks that made the river into a waterway, including the Peterborough Lift Lock, which many of you know, were built not much more than 100 years ago. Before that, for 10,000 years, this river was uncontrolled. It was about the same size as it is now, but this section was part of a long rapid, 30 kilometers long. First Nations people avoided this part of the river because of that. And when they moved through their equivalent of the waterway we have today, they took a portage from Bridgenorth, those of you who know the area, to Peterborough, along what is now called Chemung Road. And it was by means of that ancient portage they avoided this part of the river. The Huron people brought Samuel de Champlain by that route, along that portage on Chemung Road, almost 400 years ago. The anniversary is in 2015. And we know that, and people often wonder, and the students, of course, know this, because we have a receipt for the ice cream cone that the Huron people bought for Champlain in Portage Place. So no matter what the students from Champlain College, which is the college behind you here, tell you, Champlain did not overnight in this college. At that time, it was in the middle of a big rapid, as I've explained. That portage along Chemung Road existed for 10,000 and was used for 10,000 years. Before that, this valley was occupied by a much larger river, a river as big as the St. Lawrence. And the bank of that river, we can see it, is where the college is over here and the environmental centre is over there. And there's a steep bank, and that was one bank of the river that was here 10,000 years ago. The other bank, you came past Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons wasn't here 10,000 years ago. Tim Hortons is at the bottom of the other bank of that river. So the river was flowing through here over our heads. Now, if we'd been here at that time, we would have been much cooler than we are now, but it probably wouldn't have been really very comfortable. But the banks are still very, very clear. The Tarnaby River is just a little stream flowing in the bottom of the valley, this large valley created by that huge river. These buildings are on bedrock because that river took all the fill that was here out. And so we've been able to establish our buildings very well here. Now I can see from the way you're looking at me, you're looking very glazed, and you're saying, what is this guy talking to you about when you're just waiting for your student to get a degree? And this is right, isn't it? I want to tell you there are 3 reasons I'm talking to you about this campus. The first is that this huge and very interesting campus is a very special feature of Trent. There are very few universities you will find with campus like this. It's something that we all treasure. The second reason is that it's not our campus, it's not the students' campus, the faculty campus, it's your campus. It doesn't belong to us, it belongs to the public. And we all urge you to come and visit. Come and look at this campus. Use the wildlife sanctuary, use the ski and jogging trails. Come and watch the boats from the bridge. And if you still have any lingering interest in geology, give me a call. But the most important reason that I'm talking about the campus, the third reason, and why it's particularly important this morning, is this. Now, for almost 50 years, generations of students have left something behind on this campus. Some of the generations identify with the founding of the colleges, some with the Environmental Centre, First Nations House of Learning, the library, the stadium over there. Some of the students worked on the trails, making the trails, establishing the wildlife sanctuary, and so on. When those generations come back and visit the campus, they identify most with the things they created. A few years ago, your students, through a referendum, committed funds to completely refurbish our athletics building, to make a building that will be a sports, recreation, and medical centre, not just for the university, but for the whole Peterborough community. It will be a facility which is totally accessible and environmentally impeccable. You passed the construction site when you came in here. This class has made it possible for us to develop that fine facility, and as students, they won't benefit from it at all, unless you decide not to graduate now. Okay. On behalf of Trent, on behalf of the Peterborough community, I thank them for their generosity and foresight. And I look forward to the day when you all bring your children to see the fitness centre that the class of 2010 did so much to establish. Thank you.